This is another thing. People need to understand. This is what I call the levels of professional intellect. Sounds pretty fancy, but it's really not. It's 4 basic things. Know what? It's the basic knowledge to perform the task. You said something about training and using your staffing analysis. I just gave this analogy to a team the other day. We were talking about why it was taking one technician this long to do something and this technician this long, right? You can either use that as a whipping moment or a teaching moment. Because guess what? They might not be lazy, they just might need some more training. It's what is the cognitive knowledge they need? Does your staff have the knowledge they need to do what they're doing? Or are you putting them in a position where they are uncomfortable or they're having to stretch way too far out of their comfort zone? So make sure that they have this needed skill sets. Then know how. It's not just enough to know something, but can I apply it? I teach the CFM. Do I have any CFMs in the room? All right. CFM, we talk about the ability to recall information, but then to apply that information. And this is what I'm talking about. It's not just enough to know it, but can I actually apply that knowledge to help me solve the problems? If they don't, it's your responsibility to help them with that next step. This is another thing that's really, really key. If you know why somebody is asking you to do something, aren't you a lot more open to that? Or the people that just walk in and go, I need you to do this. Well, you could be a good soldier and say, sure, but how much more enthusiasm, how much more willingness will you have if you understand what is the end in mind? Why did you choose me? Okay? You need to understand the why, the overall understanding of what it's going to take to accomplish the task and why it's important. This is my favorite, the care why. Why should I care? In the bigger scheme of things, why should I care about this? There's things that happen to us every single day, and you have to make that decision. Why should I care? I just went to a presentation by Thomas Friedman. Anybody else here Thomas Friedman fans? World is flat? Okay? And I love this. This is my new quote that he said. PQ plus CQ trumps IQ. The passion quotient plus the creative quotient, passion quotient plus creative quotient trumps IQ. I thought that was brilliant. There's a lot of really, really smart people out there, and we need them. But if they don't have the passion, okay, and the creativeness, it's kind of tough. And sometimes I remember the years in 88, 89, when somebody looked at me and said, I want you to become a facility manager. Well, what did I need to become a facility manager immediately? The IQ. I had to understand the systems. That's what I thought. But guess what? I learned the IQ. I learned the IQ by following my vendors, my contractors up on top of a roof to understand how systems worked. Or back then, I went into a computer room to see what happens when a halon goes off. That was kind of fun. But you learn the IQ. But if you have the PQ and the CQ, or you can instill that in somebody, that's what I'm talking about.